welcome to our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Glow.
I'm Kyle. And we're the fucking Morning Throners.
Welcome back to another episode of your favorite song of fire.
Ice and Fire, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of your favorite song of Ice and Fire podcast. We are now on the Clash of Kings on the first actual chapter.
Arya.
Does the prologue count as a chapter?
Yeah, but
when I was a kid, I used to just skip the prologue sometimes.
You skipped prologues?
Yeah, like if it was like a bullshit book I didn't want to read and prologue, fuck that. I think it's just a bonus chapter. You don't need it.
Bonus.
I don't know if the fans know this. I don't read any other books except for Game of Thrones, so prologue is important in Game of
You
Thrones.
don't
I
read
know if it's
any
important.
other books?
That's not true.
I'm on the 7th Dark Tower book, finally.
But I can't remember the last time I read a book that had a prologue besides Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'm talking more back towards like middle school, high school. But yeah, like say you're in reading Olympics and you were just trying to like motor through a book. Prologue didn't matter.
You didn't reading
What the fuck is
Olympics, you
reading
fucking
Olympics?
Dude,
nerd.
I was a reading Olympic master.
What the fuck is reading
I,
Olympics?
I should have done it because I liked reading.
I was a reading Olympic 24. What was the game?
Math 24.
Math
I was
24?
a king at that. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, just fucking owning elementary school. Then I got to listen to this story. All right, middle school reading Olympics, 8th grade. At this point, I'm kind of like a slap ass with reading Olympics. I didn't read any books. It's like the day of the competition. Like
I don't even know what reading Olympics is.
It's literally just you read books, you have to finish them, and you get to like.
you had
if
a
you
group.
win 12 books, you
No.
win.
There was a group of like 15 students, I'd say, from your school, and there was a list of 50 to 75 books, and you would read them, and then you would go to these places, and then you would get trivia'd on these books. Like they'd be like, "All right, Clash of Kings, in the prologue, what does he use to strangle himself?" And you'd like converse, and then bam, and you'd say like the Strangler, and he'd be like Craig, and so 8th grade. I'm on the team, read no books. Me and my one buddy read no books, but we still went on the trip.
Oh my
And
gosh.
dude, there was a captain, believe that or not, was so
course
angry
there was.
that I was there. And I was like, listen, give me a book that no one's read and I'll read it on the way up. And I get car sick and shit. Like I definitely shouldn't have been doing this. Read it on the way up. A question comes for this book, like late in a match. And they're like, fuck, like no one read it. Who read it? And I'm like, me, I read it. And they like didn't want to trust my answer at all. Bam, got that shit right. Won the match. Let's fucking go. But that was it.
Our
That
reading
sounds
Olympics were
dope.
different.
I never did reading
Do you still
Olympics.
have your medal?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Hanging up. All my medals are hanging up in my childhood bedroom.
Gold medal reading Olympics.
We never did
Everything.
Olympics, but I was pretty boss at Math 24. But there was a kid in my school, who went in the States for Math 24. So like I didn't have a chance. Like I got
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah, it's not good.
I've seen they do that like in
What a great little thing where you just insert competition in the kids. They don't do that shit anymore. I bet they don't do it, and they're soft. I bet everybody fucking
I'll
wins.
ask my sister. I bet you she knows what Math 24 is.
What I was about to say was that they definitely do 24 competitions in like the lobby of the building I work at.
Okay.
They like
What's
I
Math
they'll, like set
24?
up all these tables. I don't know what it is really.
There will be all right.
It's like
so there's
cards.
four numbers on a card, and you have 3 lines of equation to equal 24. So if it was like
That's right.
8, 2, 1, and 1, you would say 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 times 1 equals 3, 8 times 3 equals 24. And you had to like slap the card. Like once you saw the card, bam, like your hand needed to go, or you were out.
yeah.
Dope competition.
It was just quick arithmetic, somehow getting to 24 with 4 numbers.
You ended
It was
up like needing if you were any good, if you're worth your salt, you bought your own box and you memorized them. That was the only way you won.
Yeah, that's also
Jeff
yeah.
cheating at the fucking 24 Olympics.
It's just if you wanted to compete, man, I wanted to compete.
Hey everyone, talking to the audience here. Somehow we got super off track and played Math 24 for like 10 minutes. So there was no really good segue back into the podcast. So I'm just saying this. There's a missing 10 minutes of us playing Math 24 before we get back to Arya. So here we go.
All right, so we get our first chapter, and for all you guys who are just reading the books and not watching, Kyle got a little bit of a spoiler from watching season 1 because this
It's all
chapter's
It's all Nelson's
It's
fault.
kind of a lot
Which
of a
is-
spoiler because they don't
It's
name him by any means.
Not at all.
right, and we won't name him either for the purpose of our fans.
All right.
I don't
But
know.
we already had that.
I think it's obvious. I thought Kyle would have got it. I thought Kyle would have got it even if it wasn't
I don't know if
show.
he would have, dude.
I forgot about like the horned helmet.
There's
And
no
we
way.
say
There's-
there's show spoilers anyway.
All right,
this
so
say
it's
counts.
Gendry. Gendry is the big spoiler.
I don't like
Why
it.
do you think the show people would have been like, "Hey, let's squeak this one other chapter into season 1"? There's
I don't
no
know.
like you could have said goodbye to Arya with not knowing, like a little. Oh shit!
one
Like,
thing
Yoren
is-
grabs her. Bam.
The one thing I was gonna say is this is the worst chapter we've had so far. You don't need this chapter at all. This could be, you can cut this chapter in half page wise and stick it on the front of Arya's next chapter and you're good, right?
It
Like you
kinda-
don't need this
I think
chapter.
it kind of explains maybe why she's gonna be tamer, if I had to assume, or at least has some kind of conflict in the group with these people. I think it does kind of show some stuff, but I know what you're saying and I follow what you're saying.
I feel like it just kind of like, I feel like all the characters are about to get like not like a setup chapter, but like a little setup chapter. But knowing what I know, I think most of them have a little bit more actual substance than this one. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, here's where Arya is after book 1. All the other ones I feel like here's where Sansa is after book 1, and something's about to happen. Is like I feel like what's about to happen with the rest of
I
the
think
chapters.
you also have to look at it as it is the first chapter of this book, so like the setup and the kind of the recap is in
Of
play
what's
here.
happening.
Like
Yeah, that's a good
when
call,
it came
Kyle.
out, it wasn't directly like, I mean, you couldn't just pick it up and read
Right.
it, you know. So
Yeah, I agree with Kyle. The one book I always used to read when I was a kid was Harry Potter, and the first chapter of every book, no matter what book it was, re-explained how Harry Potter was the chosen one, how his parents died. Like you always got that recap. Like it was almost like you didn't
And what
need to read the
happened
book
year
previously.
before and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like the base story. So I think you're right, Nelson. I don't think it's a great. I
Yeah.
mean, we meet a couple new people. We kind of figure out what Yorn's doing, but all right,
there's some
let's just
group
dive in.
dynamic stuff too. Like I said, it kind of sets up a lot of that for.
I liked
for
it because it
Crip.
was quick, fast paced, and I read it in 5
It
minutes.
is a quick one. Like this is perfect length.
Especially after coming off a
It's
2 hour
perfect
one,
length.
you know.
Yeah, well, the problem for me is all these chapters, even this one, it took kind of like a decent amount of time to write because it's just they're all going to be introducing all the new characters for like this character's POV, right? I mean, like Crescent was a different one, but like, oh, here we got Hot Pie and Lami and the Bull and
Yoren,
Yoren. I
yep.
mean, that's it. But
And the creepy
Yeah.
dude with the sharp teeth, and yeah,
creepy dude with the sharp teeth and the other guy with no nose.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, you go ahead, lead us into it. Let's,
All
we're
right,
kind
so
of all
we
over the
come
place.
right in, and Arya's just getting. She's just bringing up like the different names she was called because she's a fairly ugly little kid based off of what George describes her as, right? So she gets called Arya Horseface back in Winterfell. We remember that, but now she's got a new one from one of her new riding pals.
Lumpy head.
Lami Greenhands is calling her Lumpy Head, and
Why do they call Lami Green Hands Lami Green Hands?
Because he was a
dyer.
dyer's son.
he dyed fabric. I'm assuming,
Dyed
and
stuff.
So his hands are actually like up. She said up to his elbow,
up to his
like,
elbows. Yeah.
like kind of tie dyed greenish.
Yeah.
They're
That's
like
pretty
permanently-
crazy.
They're permanently fucked up.
That's really fucked.
now this is gonna sound dumb, but like, did they explain why? Like, I know they said they called her. Yeah, no, she did explain the knife stuff. I was wondering if that was only in the show, like him cutting her hair with the knife is why her hair's all lumpy.
That's probably also why they
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
her Lumpy head.
That's
Because
exactly why.
like,
Yeah, she says that. Or
Yeah.
she kind of relates
Yeah,
it too.
no, she definitely does.
She goes immediately from talking about them calling her lumpy head to talking about it's because you weren't
Shitty
cut my hair
haircut.
off and it wasn't
Right.
good.
That's
yeah.
the very next thing we go into. So Yoren's kind of he drags her away. He starts cutting her hair, and he's like, "Oh, I'm taking men and boys up to the wall. You want to come with me, boy?"
I don't think it was super well done, but the last Arya chapter we had at the end of book 1,
Her hair
It,
was
like-
fucking naughty. Like
I'm just
she
saying it was left ambiguous of whether she was even alive or not. It basically was a man pulled her into an alley and a blade flashed in front of her face. Kyle
All
was
right.
not fooled by that at all, but like maybe somebody on the first read is like, holy shit,
Yeah.
and she's dead too, and then now you're
I
like, oh
didn't-
fuck, it was just a
yeah, I
haircut.
didn't even think about that.
Like I think that's kind of what this is also supposed to be. Is like she's still alive. That was just a haircut.
yeah.
She's actually like this is a good guy taking her north. Like
Right.
I think until here that's up in the air. It was supposed to be up in the air.
yeah, that makes sense. Because
Right.
it doesn't tell you who Yoren is, and like, or she recognized him in the last chapter.
Yeah, again, he's there slightly with Tyrion and then in that one chapter with Ned, but
So we get another name for her, and she's going to go by Ari the Orphan Boy now. So three names that we know her by now: Horseface, Lumpy Head, and Ari the Orphan Boy. And he's like, all right, we're going to the wall. I'll drop you off at Winterfell, basically. And so they got there. Their brigand. What's the word?
Brigand.
They're
For what?
like the group of people that are going up, and they
brigade.
start working.
So how many are
Cavalry.
there? What? So this group she's going with, what's it made up of?
Rapers.
Wasn't it like 15
thieves,
people?
And the like.
It's about 30 men.
People. Okay.
Mostly men just straight from the dungeons. 3 people from the black cells, which is where Ned was kept. Like that same like
The worst
like,
of the worst.
like
Death row,
security
pretty much.
level. Yeah. And so 3 of them, mostly dungeon people, and then a few orphan boys, like Arya is posing to be. The 3 that we hear of are Lamy Green Hands, Hot Pie, and the Bull,
The
Gendry.
double.
Which I mean, like, so some of the people up at the wall already are pretty fucked up. It sounds like, but like would you want to, like, these 3 dudes, like, to be part of your crew?
I don't
They
think
need
so.
bodies, man. They need bodies.
I know, but like,
They don't have. I don't think they have the pick of the litter anymore. Like back in the day, like they used to get.
he did
Dude
have
with the
pick.
sharpened teeth, like you don't.
Like, what are they
like,
gonna
just
do with
kill
these
him.
guys when they get to the wall? Like they're keeping them like in
Caged.
like handcuffs and shackles, not caged, but like
Yeah.
shackled in the back of a wagon.
All right, but they get up to the wall at that point. Like, what are you gonna do? Desert and get your head chopped off, or just like? Fuck
They're
it,
caged in the
let's
show,
do
Colin.
this?
In this, and they're just shackled in the back of a
Yeah.
wagon. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Well, I mean, once you get to the wall, what are you really gonna do? Desert south and get your head chopped off, or just
The
work
guy
the
with
wall?
sharp teeth and bite Jon Snow while he's sleeping.
Yeah, and then they
Just
kill
get
him,
killed.
and then you die. So like, what's
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, I guess.
If
yeah.
you really want to die, then yeah, go bite Jon Snow. If you want to live, just
Why
fucking
would you
live
trust
at the
these
wall.
guys to not want to die? I guess is what I'm saying. Like, these dudes
I agree
are,
with
like I
Cal.
said, they're like death row, like worst of the worst. Like, you fucking.
Well, they could have said no. It's not like they had to go.
You kept
they
them in the
they
crazy
decided to
cells
go.
at
To,
Well, they're
Arkham, you
they're
know?
like, oh, let me kill a couple more
they
people
decided
before
to
I
go
die.
to the wall versus just doing whatever time or just.
So what
getting their
are the
hands chopped
descriptions of these
off.
guys? One had no nose, only a hole in his face where it had been cut off,
One had sharp
and the other
teeth.
one was a gross, fat, bald one with pointed teeth and weeping sores on his cheeks and his
Nice.
eyes, and had eyes like nothing human. And there's a third one too, but we don't hear about him. So those guys, and then I guess mostly probably like 20 people, 25 people, probably 20 people from the dungeons, and then maybe like 7 orphan boys like Arya, Hot Pie, Lamy, and
couple others.
the Bull. Yeah,
Double.
that's what I'm thinking.
So are we
Mhm.
pretending the bowl is kind of like an orphan boy? Is that what we're doing?
I think I said his name.
Yeah. Weird.
Well, I mean, he is.
He is a
but
bastard.
But
is,
he's
orphan.
not though. I mean, he is. He had a job and he
He's a
was like
bastard.
fucking doing all right. Like, he is not.
In terms of the 3 categories of people that Yorn's taking to the wall,
Okay.
like he's not a criminal.
Yeah. Fair
He's
enough.
just like one of the people. I mean, we hear at the end of the chapter, he like if he's the boy that was like brought with like the purse of gold, then like presumably he's not like an orphan that was acquired the same way the rest of them were. But he's basically in the same boat as Arya and Hot Pie and Lamy. He's like he had nobody else. It was like fuck it, I'll get food this way.
No, I think he
like,
was
might
sent.
as well. Yeah, this guy he was sent,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like I think at this point it's just like fuck it, whatever. I had nothing else going for. I didn't really have much going for me there either. So
It was good armor. He could have got.
I mean,
he
they
could
need him
have made
at the-
something.
I'm
It
sure
is,
they
as I
use it at
said,
the
it is
wall,
kind of a
too.
good opportunity for him too. If he's good armor, and I'm sure there's plenty of good ones down there. There's not too many up at the wall. He's gonna have.
True
he can learn
that.
from Donald Noy.
Is that Noy?
One
Yeah,
on
one-armed
Donald
Noy.
Noy, who made Robert's
I wanted to
Warhammer.
say. I thought it was Micken, but that's
Those two would have
Winterfell.
potentially have a great connection at the wall.
All right, so the first thing they need to do is get through the gates, which you could tell
Easy
Arya
shit.
was definitely worried about, and Yorn just wasn't at all because he knows the guys. He probably goes out drinking with them when he visits, and just walk straight on through.
Well, they knew what he was doing too. They didn't have much reason to suspect them. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean they're like, okay, you want to take these
Yeah,
30,
you're taking
slap
the
things
shit
in the
out of
city,
these
like,
Shit
yeah.
bags.
awesome. Yeah, thank you. And she just kind of remembers like she's leaving Flea Bottom, Red Keep, and she actually wishes that the rush would come through and take it all away, just flood out the whole city
Killed
and
Joffrey
kill
and
everyone.
Cersei.
Yeah, and there's one person she does think of
But then
then.
she's like, "Oh fuck, Sansa's there."
All
She's
right,
like,
let
I
me
don't
wish for
actually want
home.
that. Yeah, she's like, never mind.
Which
I
is
just wanna be home.
surprising because in the past, when Sansa was in trouble, like she didn't think of Arya, and I'm trying to think of like when Arya.
I mean,
was,
I'm sure Arya has not thought of Sansa in the past.
Yeah,
We're,
yeah,
like,
that's what I was
pulling
gonna
it apart
say.
now.
Like when Arya
When she
was
was-
running away from
Yeah, for
the-
days.
Yeah, like she wasn't.
Arya
like,
does remember Rickon later on, though.
Yeah. So
Oh, the
And everyone
one
forgets
Stark.
Rickon.
Everyone does.
So basically, then she starts getting picked on. They talk about how she's getting picked on. She was left alone by everybody, but all the boys, the Orphan boys, picked on her because she was the youngest by 2 years. And basically, they're picking on her like, "Where'd you get the sword?" Hawkeye's like, "Maybe you were a squire," and like, "There's no way you were a squire. It's probably not even a real sword." And she got pissed when they said that like
she got pissed when they called her a
they
thief.
called Jon Snow,
Yeah.
and she
whoever
said,
got him
she
the
thought
sword,
that it was Jon. Well, they called her a thief, and then she's like, "Oh, Jon Snow's not a thief," and got pissed off. She's thinking that to herself. She didn't say it.
Right,
She's like,
right.
"My brother's not a thief."
We do get the reason why Hot Pie is called Hot Pie. He was a kid of a baker and would just walk down the street yelling Hot Pie.
Hot pies.
Little
She's a
fat
hot
fuck.
pie. Yeah.
What happened? His parents died, so he's like, "Fuck it, let me go to the wall and eat more food."
Assumingly he's with the Orphan boys. Yeah.
Mother had been a baker before she died. Yeah.
Yep. So then they get this. They basically ask her if she's gonna cry. Hot Pie's like, "Are you gonna piss yourself?" And Gendry's like, "Stop picking on her." They don't listen, and then
she's
why
like,
they call him
"Hey,
the bull?"
he's got a." All right, I don't need the answer.
Well,
Go ahead.
You
someone
also
else.
you missed the part there, and they gave it to Gendry in the show, but she did tell him that it was Castle Forged. Like
She does. Yeah.
she just like comes out and
It's
fucking
Castle
blows her
Forged.
own cover, pretty much.
She's definitely not helping her
Yeah.
cover with that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the fuck do you little orphan boy get a Castle Forge
Because
sword?
in the show, like
Yeah.
I said, they gave Gendry's like looks at it and he's like, "This is Castle Forged steel," you know, like instead of her blowing her own cover. That was
Well, I was gonna say too. That's something that Gendry would notice, like her
Yeah.
saying Castle Forge in this company. You would normally be like, who would catch that? But Gendry would probably fucking catch that.
So let's just say, like, Gendry's putting his shit together, right? Like, he's forging. He wasn't in the castle. Would he be considered Castle Forged steel? I guess because he was making shit for the people in the
That's
castle.
what I'm saying. Is I don't know what qualifies.
Yeah, that's true. But
Just like a really good made sword. You know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what qualifies. If what you're saying is
Castle
true, then
Forge.
it's less of a giveaway. What Arya is saying, if Castle Forge literally means like
forged in
Just
a
in-
castle.
in a castle, then
Yeah.
that's
It's got to
different.
be. It's got to be
Like in a
a
castle.
quasi.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think no matter what, that still means that there's some value in it, and that like
Well, definitely
an
value. in
orphan
it.
child of 9 years old should not have a Castle Forged sword unless
Right.
they have some value as well. You know.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Agreed.
So Hot Pie ends up coming over to her, and she's like, "Hey, you can have my practice sword."
And Lama says you better give her the real one because he kicked a boy to death.
I kicked him. I kicked him
square in
all.
the nuts.
I kicked him in the balls,
Kicked him in the
and I
balls,
kicked him
he
again,
died, right? And died.
and I kicked him all to
Until he died.
pieces.
Yeah.
Until he died, until his dick turned,
Dick
until his
turned
pisser turned
black.
black and blue.
What a story to have. That's your go-to, because like they obviously he's told this story before. The other guy already knew it and believed it. That's the best part, I
Yeah.
think.
And so in the show, Arya's like, "I already stabbed one fat boy." She says
only
it out
thinks
loud to
about
him.
that. Yeah.
This time she keeps it in herself,
Yeah.
and when he comes at her, she beats the shit out of him with this wood sword.
Oh yeah.
Arya made the stick whistle as she laid the wood. Well, she's kind of like, this is like a 200 IQ play. She hits the donkey. Arya made the stick whistle as she laid the wood across the donkey's hindquarters. The animal hawed and bucked, dumping Hot Pie on the ground. She vaulted off her own donkey and poked him in the gut as he tried to get up. He sat back down with a grunt. Then she whacked him across the face, and his nose made a crack like a branch breaking. Blood dribbled from his nostrils when Hot Pie began to wail. Arya whirled towards Lamy Green Hands, who was sitting on his donkey, open-mouthed. "You want some sword too?" she yelled, but he didn't. He raised dyed green hands in front of his face and squealed at her to get away. The bull shouted,
Behind you!
and Arya spun. Hot Pie was on his knees, his fist closing around a big jagged rock. She let him throw it, ducking her head as it sailed past. Then she flew at him. He raised a hand and she hit it, and then his cheek, and then his knee. He grabbed her, and she danced aside and bounced the wood off the back of his head. He fell down, got up, and stumbled after her. His red face all smeared with dirt and blood. Arya slid into a water dancer's stance and waited. When he came close enough, she lunged right between his legs, so hard that if her wooden sword had had a point, it would have come out between his butt cheeks. And then we don't really get what actually happens, but she just keeps wailing on him
While he's
until
down.
Yoren comes up, and while he's down, until Arya comes up,
Shit
and
himself.
Yoren comes up and takes the.
To Kyle's point, again, like, to Kyle's point earlier with the Castle Forge Steel, like, She's fucking beating the shit out of him.
And then she's doing some fancy like style
And like water dance.
Yeah.
Like it'd be one thing if you were just like brawling and just like swinging on him like she ends up doing, but like you're showing that someone trained you how to use this. Like you're trained now.
Yeah.
Like now it's like what the fuck's going on?
Yeah,
like
she's
who the
obviously
fuck is
good.
this person?
I don't know.
She got trained for a while too. Like,
Bro,
I'm
she
not
has
saying
some
she's
skills.
not good. I'm saying she's obviously good, but I don't know.
Think
if,
about.
I don't know if this is
about-
a giveaway.
It's a giveaway.
Think about when she was
like-
like battling with Micah, and she was probably just fucking like swinging the sword, like has no fucking clue. And now she's like in a fancy stance and dodging shit. Like, come on.
She definitely showed some cards there for sure. That like
Yeah,
hey, don't
that's why
fuck with
everyone
her
was
'cause she
staring
knows what
at
she's
her
doing.
Yeah.
afterwards.
Well, I think that's a good card to show. Is don't fuck with me. And Lami, we hear later, Lami's just like staying literally as far away
He's
from her
scared,
as possible. So good for her. Like I don't think Lami's like, oh, you know what? I think
I mean, it's definitely a great strategy, like staying up to the first person, beat the shit out of them, and now you're like,
it's like
the
the prison
bully.
thing. You just get into a fight first day, make sure that like
you go after the
everyone
baddest
knows.
motherfucker.
Or in this case, hot pie.
I mean,
What was that? What was that
Hot
from? What was that from?
I forget.
Definitely
what
from a
that's
movie.
from.
Like, you go up to the baddest motherfucker, you punch
I've
him
been
right in the
watching.
face.
I've watched a lot of 60 Days In though, like where like they actually send like normal people into prison, and that is definitely not the strategy.
Dude,
Like, do
no,
not
you
do that if you
fucking-
actually go to jail. That's it. That
You
will
wanna
get you
just
fucking
do nothing.
destroyed.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
wanna
You
do
shut
want
up.
to
nothing.
lay low
Yeah.
and try not to get picked on.
Get in there
Just
and
lay low and try to
sleep.
get picked on.
Sleep as long
Yep,
as you can.
Exactly. Yeah. Say nothing.
All right, so Yorn comes over now. All right, Glow, tell us what happens.
Yoren comes over and basically yells at everyone saying, hey, quit fighting here. He grabs Ari off of them. Tells them if they keep fighting that he's going to drag them behind by the donkeys or carts or whatever.
Just gonna drag them.
Yeah. So that all dispels, and he's like, Ari, you're coming with me, and takes her out to the woods. And out there, he's like, quit being an idiot. You're blowing up your cover. Like, shut up. And then tells her to pull down her pants as she grabs a tree. And then he starts whacking
And
her with
she's
his...
like, well, what about my vagine? He's
She
like,
didn't?
don't worry about it. Yeah, she kind of does.
She
No,
says...
he says do it here, or nobody will see. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what happens.
Yeah,
She didn't.
I was just
Oh.
making a little bit of a joke, but
Oh, gotcha.
But
they mentioned that she doesn't have a penis and that people would watch.
she had to go pee in the woods and hide in the woods.
They're out of yeah. And then he basically smacks her 3 times really hard with some piece of wood
He pretty much tells her like you
I
have
bet he takes that practice sword.
and make
It
it loud.
was a practice.
That's what I'm
Probably
saying.
the
Yeah,
best
it's like he pretty much says like they have to know you're getting punished, otherwise, like then they'll definitely know something's up more than they already think because of the dumb shit you just did. Like, so he's like, you're gonna scream, and you're gonna be loud.
Yeah, and she's
No,
like, I'm not gonna.
no,
but
I
then
won't.
she does. Yep.
When did we hear that before?
I
don't know.
I don't know either.
Wow.
Where?
I feel like I do know, but I don't.
We're just gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna keep
Is
it
it
in my
Danny?
pocket. I'm gonna keep it in my pocket.
Might be Danny then.
Wow, no one knows. That's crazy.
I just said it. I think it's
All
Danny.
right.
It's got to be Danny.
It's a Danny.
Danny
somewhere.
said it to who? I want to hear you scream.
Viserys probably.
You won't hear me scream.
Oh, Mary Man's
Mary
door.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Good one, Jeff. You would have got that one in the reading Olympics.
Absolutely.
Gold medal.
I'm telling you, I was an elementary school king.
Nice.
Back in
happened?
the glory days.
What happened?
I started playing football instead of reading.
Understandable.
The classic meme. I started liking girls. Back to Game of Thrones.
So basically, he hit her so hard that she started to bleed, and she was sore. She couldn't ride a donkey for what, like 3 or 4 days, she was saying?
Yeah, she decided to walk for at least the next 3 days, which is when the chapter ends. It's 3 days later.
Yeah, and
And basically, go ahead.
at one point, she's walking next to the bull, and he says something, I forget, talking shit on Lami, being afraid of her.
Basically, the only thing is Yoren gives her sour leaf, which has got to just be like
Well,
full leaf
let's
chewing
talk-
tobacco.
Hold on. We're missing a big part right now. Which,
Oh, yeah.
Arya's, Yarn's like, hey, like, all right, I know you're hurting, but like, Fat Boy's hurting a lot worse than you. She's like, yeah, I know. And Yoren goes into like, hey, this isn't how it's supposed to happen. Your dad was supposed to come take the black with us, so that's the only reason he wasn't already halfway up the winter or the wall. Probably was because he was waiting for Eddard to say sorry and get sent to the wall.
And he's like, but something got fucked up. Arya, 9 years old, knows immediately what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Joffrey.
Fucking gas.
And she's like, I should kill him. Someone should kill him.
Nah, someone should kill him.
And Yoren's like, someone will, but it's not going to be either of us. Let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, what? Like, just be cool. Like, don't start any more shit with those guys.
He does also. It kind of is in passing, but he's like, don't do that shit to your brothers. And she's like, they're not my brothers. But I think that kind of, I don't know. I know he says he's taking her to King's Landing, but he might be taking her to the wall. I don't know.
Well, maybe he's reinforcing the idea
that King's
like,
Landing?
Or not King's Landing,
Winterfell. He meant
Winterfell. Yeah, I said the wrong.
Gotcha. Yeah,
maybe he's just reinforcing the fact, like, hey, you have to act like you're going to the fucking wall with us.
Yeah, okay. That's a good point, too.
She does mention, too, that she kind of wishes that she would go to the wall.
Yeah, she wants to see Jon.
See, Senor Jon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she wants to go to the wall first.
Is that the next?
Is pretty much what she says. She wishes the wall came before Winterfell so that she could stop by and see Jon.
The other thing we skipped over is when Yoren explains like the whole thing that was supposed to happen with Ned. He said the way he says is a man came to him with a boy and a purse of gold and a message explaining the whole Ned thing. The boy is Gendry. Is like probably Gendry. The purse of gold just like for staying and taking both. You don't think you would have figured out the Gendry thing?
No, because I didn't even figure this out here that the boy was Gendry. I don't think. I didn't think about that.
So then, who do you think the man
Way
is?
to spoil it.
I was going to ask Kyle who these three people are.
Can you give a description again?
I think you would have figured out the boy.
Probably Littlefinger.
Will you say
description of the man? I forget what it is.
I don't know if they give one.
He just says a man.
I was set to leave, wagons bought and loaded, and a man comes with a boy for me and a purse of coin and a message. Never mind who it's from. Lord Eddard's take the black, he says to me. Wait, he'll be going with you.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I thought they said, like, I don't know. For some reason, I thought they gave
it was probably Littlefinger, right?
Okay.
I mean, is that what you're getting me to?
I'm not going to tell you what I think, but
okay.
I don't even remember, to be honest.
I'll tell Jeff and Chloe what I think in a few minutes, but
okay.
I'll tell you what I think too.
The end is a few days later, like these 3 days later. Basically, she walks next to. What were you going to say, Glove? What is the bull
I think
color?
Gendry says like Lami's terrified of you or something. I forget exactly what he says.
Something like that, and then she just lays down in bed and sees she's talking about the comet for the first time and says the bull called it the red sword because it looks like a sword hot from the forge, which again, if there wasn't a giveaway already, would be a hint towards Gendry. And then she says that when she squints, she can maybe see the sword, but she doesn't think it looks like a sword hot from the forge. She thinks it looks like ice after
bloody
ill and
ice.
pain, cutting its head off.
Poor girl.
But she didn't even see that. She admits, like, I didn't see that. Like, Yoren hid it from me, but that's what I imagine it looked like, is what that comment looks like. Then she falls asleep, dreams of home, says she misses everybody, Mom, Rob, Brandon, Rickon, Jon most of all, and she wishes she could go to the wall before going to Winterfell, which is kind of what Kyle was saying a minute ago. And that's pretty much the end of it.
And that's it.
Nice quick chapter, boys.
I think she's going to see Jon again. Before you ask any of your questions, I think she is.
Oh, good prediction, Kyle. I like you're coming out the gate.
Coming out of the prediction on the tip of your tongue.
Coming out the gate with a prediction.
Yeah, I mean,
feeling confident.
It pretty heavy there, I think. So that's my Why not?
All right, Arya gets back with Jon. Anything else? I mean, I guess if that's what you think.
I don't know if there's much here.
I think that's probably the best one I can give you. I think there's going to be more.
Do you have any? Give me a more immediate. That there's leagues between, like, the next Arya chapter is not going to be at the wall, right? So, give me a more immediate prediction.
I think
for Arya.
people are going to start to figure out who she is as well.
Okay, cool.
Let's go.
She blew enough of her cover that I think
someone with her.
Yeah, I don't
like in the party.
All right, who's
try and
next
sell her or some shit.
I mean, they're going to be traveling up the road. They might.
Is it Sansa?
I think it's Sansa.
It is Sansa.
It is Sansa.
Sansa won, baby. Sansa won.
Go me.
One of Jeff's favorites.
Well, great! I can't wait. I'm so jacked up.
All right. Well, we got a short chapter. No need to dilly dally. Let's kick Cal out and get on spoiler section.
All right, Kyle.
See you later, Cal. We'll see you on the next episode for
Kyle.
Sansa 1.
Bye, Kyle.
All right, see you guys
Have
later.
a good one, bud.
Bye, Kyle.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! All right, Cal. See you again, bud.
Bye, Kyle.
See you on the next episode.
See you next episode. Can't wait.
Fuck. All right. See you later, Kyle. We'll see you in the next episode for Sansa 1. And now, on to the spoiler section of Arya 1. Boys, what are your hot takes for this? Jeff, I'll give you the floor first, bud.
All right. So to start off, George is already laying the foundation for Arya to be a many-faced person.
Oh, how do you think that?
Come on now. We already got four names we're calling her. Arya, Horseface.
Yeah, but
Lumpy
Jockin's
head.
no one. She should have no names. Jockin's got no names in his first chapter. I wonder if Arya
is the many-faced god.
She's the prophet. She's the prophet. Did we talk about this last time?
I was gonna say, like, I wonder if Arya's introduction was like Jockin's, where like maybe there's a chapter where Arya and Sansa are both there, but they don't even mention Arya, and we didn't even notice it.
Arya is the hero of the many-faced god. Jockin's going to be the prophet. How about them two?
But like
apples?
Jockin doesn't do like many-faced god shit.
Come on. He does the big thing at the Citadel that you got me all geeked up about.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be many-faced god. Like, that doesn't seem to be at all what we see Arya going through at the House of Black and White. They're all about, like, assassinate somebody, come back. Assassinate somebody, come back. He's on, like, a long-term mission, get this book, find the spell,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
but
blah.
we don't
Like,
even
if
know.
He is,
We don't
if
even
he
really
is
know.
If he is in connection with the many-faced gods, which is, like, it's very much seems like it, right? He has to be, like, an agent, like, high up there, right? Like, Arya, there's an Arya chapter where she's, like, serving wine in a many-faced council. So any of you guys remember this?
No.
No, not really. I don't.
While she's serving at the House of Black and White, like a bunch of the like kindly man waif level people come in and have a meeting, and he's basically like stand there and don't say anything. And the whole meeting's in Bravosi, and she's been learning Bravosi, so she doesn't understand all of it, but she understands most of it.
I mean,
And basically
I kind
they're
of
saying-
remember, but-
And basically all they're doing is they're pulling out names of who they're supposed to kill and being like, who knows this person? Okay, you're not allowed to do it. Somebody else kills them. But that's it. It's like assassin's contract.
Yeah.
Jaqen is not doing that. Jaqen has been in Westeros for he's in the Black Cells. Now he's out of the Black Cells, goes to Harrenhal. He's been here for like
So
a
we're
year
saying
and a half.
maybe Jaqen's not that guy?
Well, I'm saying if he is in association, he probably is in association with the House of Black and White. I mean, he gives her the entry. He gives her the fucking key to the castle, right?
We already know. Remember
he's like an agent. He's high up there. He's doing like
I
he's
gotcha.
like the shit that their agenda is, not like their organization.
not their
You guys ever see the movie
income,
Wanted?
but they're
They're fucking yeah.
He's
Say
Morgan
what?
Freeman. He's Morgan Freeman
And what?
in Wanted, the movie Wanted.
You think he's Morgan Freeman? Morgan Freeman wasn't doing the killing. He was just.
Is in one
Yeah, he was
Angelina
orchestrating
Jolie.
it. Yeah. And
Where she
Morgan
curves a
Freeman was
bullet?
like, "Yep."
Where she
and
curves a
Morgan-
bullet. You want to know
Yeah.
a little fun fact about Wanted? I literally had that idea and told my brother, like, yo, I'm gonna grow up and make a movie where not even the curve of the bullet. That I'm thinking of the idea wrong. In that same movie, they have another idea where they shoot somebody sniping somebody
With
and somebody
a mirror? with like a
No. And I think Angelina Jolie shoots the sniper bullet out of the air.
Yeah, she
and
does
I-
shoot it.
And I had that idea. That was gonna be my fucking like action movie. Like
that was gonna be your one scene.
Yeah, I had that idea when I was like 7, and I told my brother, I was like, "This is gonna be our fucking ticket. We're gonna become action hero stars." And then that movie came out. I don't even know what year. We were like
And
15,
And just
and
blew you out of the
It
water.
ruined my hopes, and I was like, "This movie isn't even fucking good," and they ruined my shot.
Sucks.
That movie was
Morgan
wild.
Freeman's
That
a
was a crazy
horrible
movie.
actor.
Whoa.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm saying that's your reaction.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
But Nelson, remember when I was rewatching the show and I was emailing you? Fuck, I'm old as that's just dating ourselves. We're not old. Remember when I was messaging you about everything that pissed me off? Do you remember what pissed me off about the many-faced men?
What?
No.
What pissed you off, Jeff? I want to know.
They were paid. They were paid assassins.
That's what I mean. That's what they are.
It wasn't some god that was speaking the names to them. People brought them a bag of money, and then they went and killed that person.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think it's as obviously that in the books, but like, there's definitely influence of that. Like we hear a bunch of times, like you can just pay the faceless men and they'll just go kill somebody for you. Like they've brought it up like two times already in the first book.
That's just crazy. I mean, that takes away all of what they should be. But that's what I meant by wanted. Like, oh, it's just Morgan Freeman killing people that he wanted.
I'm going to come back at you.
That's going to go back to the George R.R. Martin not liking the religious.
I'm going to come back at Jeff with a quote from one of his idols. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So, I mean, you got to make money somehow. You don't just make money by praying and killing the people that you want to kill. You got to make money by killing people for other people as well.
Other than the Red Woman, though, this is like really the only group that we've seen actual kind of funky shit happen, right? Where they're taking on different personalities in the face, the magic of the face.
Again, there's theories out there that like
pretty much only the Red Woman. Look at the old gods too.
There's theories out there that pretty much shut down all magic in all of Game of Thrones except for shadow babies. Nobody can really explain shadow babies, but there's like theories that shut down everything. Even in the first prologue, right? You guys thought that was 100% magic. I proposed, and even Glow saw it because now we're reading with a fine tooth comb. Even Glow said or Kyle said it. He's like, why the fuck would he leave the fucking poison out on the table while he takes like a 5-hour nap?
Yeah.
Like, there's very obvious reason, like potential things that like would be like, oh, there's no magic at all. They just switch to poison. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So as we go on, I'll hopefully be able to point out more of those. Not that I believe it, but just like I think it makes it really interesting that potentially all this stuff is totally fake. The shadow babies is I don't know. I don't think anybody has an explanation for that, but
shadow babies.
Everything else
they
is
always
like,
happen.
Yeah, so I mean, even the many-faced god stuff, I think people have explanations for how it could potentially
replacing
not be
their face, though.
I mean, they even say that the first 2 steps aren't actually replacing their face. It's just like literally like makeup and they tell Arya that it's like literally like makeup and stuff.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Glow, you had a good one.
Yeah. So this is Arya talking about Jon. She calls him not a thief, but later on in life, he meets Ygritte and he steals her as a wife, and that he could be considered a thief for stealing her as a wife.
Because of the wildlings stealing people for weddings.
In the wildling culture, would they actually be considered man and wife? Were they together like that?
It's like man and wife, but they don't have a ceremony for it. Like they're together until they don't want to be together. But,
and so when he bailed on her, it's just over.
They definitely say like there's definitely talks of that. Again, now I'm starting to get confused whether like books show stuff. Like Torben definitely says like you stole her. Like you didn't realize it maybe, but like you did shit that like we would do in order to like marry somebody. Maybe not in the most conventional way, but yeah, you did.
All right, and
people
then
think that he stole Val, who is Dalla's daughter, blah blah blah.
Dalla's daughter or sister?
Sister, sorry, wildling princess at the wall, and that could be a big consequence for the wildlings following him and all that. He might be the king beyond the wall right now.
I think there's definitely stuff like interesting with Val. I don't know if I'm 100% behind she was stolen though.
I think she was.
I mean, he would have to bang her, though, right?
I just don't know.
No, wouldn't he have to bang her?
Nah.
Just steal her?
No, I just don't know.
That's 100%. Saying a virgin wife.
I just don't 100% understand like where you get. Like I get the Ygritte for sure, but I just don't get the Val exactly how Jon stole her.
He captured her, brought her back to the castle. He has command of her.
Interesting. Stannis does.
All right. Nelson, bring us in with yours.
Yeah, what's your next one, Nelson?
They didn't. So when they talk about the 3 people from the Black Cells, they don't mention Jaqen.
They described the other 2, and then nothing for Jaqen.
No one for the 3rd one.
But we know it's Jaqen. When do we find out that it's Jaqen? When she lets him out the fire?
I'm just saying the point that they don't describe him is like kind of leading on to him being no one.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I kind of think Jaqen's a little bit.
Did there, Nelson? No one.
Yeah.
Jaqen's a little bit different than the other people. I think like he might be fucking special.
So even Rourke and Biter are very important characters throughout these books. It's way more so than in the show.
Well, they join the Mountain, right? Or the Brotherhood, or the.
I'm not exactly sure who it is, but Biter bites Brienne's face off.
Right.
Yeah.
They just become.
That's
bandits,
like the only
right?
thing I remember about Brienne.
They become bandits, right? They don't.
Brigands.
Somehow they get out and they just start running around causing havoc.
Yeah, I think they join the Bloody Mummers. Who's kind of related to the Mountain, but like,
right?
Not really. Like borderline.
It was the people that just like went around burning shit, right?
Exactly,
It's
pretty much
ripping it.
burning Seb's, but it's also the people who cut off Jaime's hand. I don't think so. There's 3 people that Brienne kills at Clackcraw Point. I don't think they're at any one. I think that's Shagwell. I don't think Rourke's there. Biter's definitely not there. But yeah, Biter like fucks up Brienne and Brienne kills him. But like these guys, yeah, are like part of terrorizing the Riverlands for the next couple books. And
Right.
but the first point was just that Jaqen is the no
I
one.
think Jockin's different. I don't think Jockin's a normal. I think he's fucking. He's something that's like in multiple spaces at one point. Like
think
I
so?
don't know. I definitely think so.
That's what I'm saying. He definitely doesn't have the same
He's in the
agenda.
Citadel. He's in the Citadel. He's in
Yeah, but he can
Westerland.
travel.
He's in Bravos. Like he's everywhere. He's
I don't
definitely
think he's in
different.
Bravos.
He's definitely in
I
Bravos.
don't think he's in Bravos at all.
I think he's everywhere. I think he's in multiple places.
I don't think
You're
he's with
confusing
Arya
the
for the
show.
Arya stuff. Yeah, I don't think he's with Arya for the Arya stuff. I think that's all the Kindly Man and the.
I
Waif.
think it's all him. I truly do.
Maybe he
That's
is
impossible.
the Manyface
No,
god.
he's Pate in the Citadel with Sam. Sam is literally his roommate where we left Sam off.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. The next thing I had was just Kyle's prediction. Not even prediction. I asked him like who was the man who brought Gendry. He said Littlefinger.
I think it's Varys.
Right. I was thinking Littlefinger at first too because I thought Littlefinger was a little bit more tied into the bastards, but we know that Varys was in the cells with Ned talking about taking the black.
Yep.
And that's really our only clue.
That's the only person that we ever saw taught to Ned. Like, and before this, that's the only person we.
Do you think they would have had a council meeting? Like, hey, let's let this guy take the black.
They're definitely
No,
I mean,
Cersei would have wanted him killed.
No, dude, definitely not.
Cersei was mad when
Cersei
Joffrey
was
tries
like,
to kill.
no, you
yeah.
can't kill him. She was definitely
Yeah,
on board with
yeah.
him taking the black.
There's like Arya says like
Most
No,
remember
I
him-
wasn't talking about Ned. Sorry, I thought you guys were talking about Gendry. I thought you were saying
yeah.
council about.
well even
About Ned taking the
Keeping her-
black.
I mean
Okay,
even
sorry.
Gendry Arya even Gendry
I think Cersei would want to kill Gendry.
I don't even know about that because that's going to be a thing later in Clash of Kings.
Doesn't Joffrey send
all
out
the
the hit?
bastards get ordered to die, and people think it's
Right.
Cersei, and I think
It's
Tyrion finds
Joffrey.
out it's Joffrey. Yeah.
Dude, it's definitely Joffrey in the show.
Yeah, it is
I
Joffrey.
forget
It's
what
100%
happens.
It's Joffrey. It's
It's
Joffrey in
100%
both.
Joffrey in the show.
both.
Yeah, I agree too.
But
I
the
forget
whole
what's
the whole
like
thing is
really.
meant to be like, oh, is it Cersei? Like it's meant to be like, oh, fuck, Cersei's.
Well,
even
the show
super cool.
doesn't leave it up to ambiguity.
No. I don't think. I'm saying like that for like 2 or 3 chapters, and the show does for like an episode
Okay.
or 2. I think.
And Tyrion finds out.
Yeah, he finally confronts Cersei, and he's like, why would you do that? And she's like, and he's like, it wasn't you, it was Joffrey. And she's like, he's a very willful child. She said something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay.
I think it's
That's
very
in
similar
show.
in both. It's in both. I think it's very similar in both. I may be completely wrong.
You see, like something happens with, like some bastard pisses off Joffrey, and then the next scene is every bastard being killed. It's something like that.
Okay.
Glow, did you have one more? I thought
No,
you
I
said you had
didn't.
2. Oh, okay. It
No,
was
I
just-
had two.
it
The
was
second
the
one
thief
was
of-
the Varys.
Oh, okay, cool. That's all I had. I mean, yeah, we didn't get much.
Nelson, you got
from
anything
this
else?
deal.
The only other thing I had was just nothing big, but Arya mentioned the rush taking over the city. Jeff talks about it a little
yeah.
bit in the non-spoiler. The only 2 things I can think that are being is like the Blackwater rush. I think they actually described that. I don't know what part of the Blackwater, the river or the bay or the ocean, like I don't know what part that is, but like
Yeah.
they talk about like that being some part of like
I don't
the
ever
bay.
remember them mentioning it, the rush again, but maybe they do.
I'm not sure, but like it might also be the thing is some of the stuff might be something that hasn't happened yet, right?
Right. Yeah. So it could be Stannis coming. It could be.
Could be some sort of wildfire.
What do you think
or
it is,
something.
Nels?
Yeah, Nels.
Maybe the
What do you-
wildfire. I mean, the Blackwater rush is the most like logical, like from
Or
words.
Arya rushing down from the top of the sept with.
I mean, I don't know.
wildfire
I mean,
on
there's
her feet.
theories that Arya is gonna blow up somehow, ignite the wildfire in King Landing. I don't know if I buy that, but that would be a rush, right? A rush of wildfire. I could 100% see them doing that. But the thing
If
is, like,
Arya,
here's
becomes the
another-
Mad Queen, I
another
quit.
little thing is like
I quit
Arya says, "I wish someone should have killed Joffrey when they took."
Someone should kill him.
And what Jordan
It's
said.
not gonna be me. It's not gonna be you. But someone's gonna kill her.
Someone
Gonna
will.
kill him.
Do you think Yorn already knew?
No, but I mean, it's
Plan was already in.
Yeah,
Was
but
already
it's-
in
but
movement.
it's true.
Yorn's part of the.
Yorn's a
Many-Faced
huge
God.
part of the story. We didn't even know. The thing was, we forgot that Yorn was actually a huge part of the story until he dies.
But now, every time someone says, I feel like I was listening to the audiobook the other day. I don't even remember what chapter it is at this point. but I knew this quote was in this chapter because I'd already taken notes on it. And I was listening to an audiobook, and like it might have been like Sansa or something, and Sansa was like, somebody should kill him. And somebody else said, somebody will, but it won't be me or you. It was like a very similar quote. But the person they were talking about wasn't dead. And I was like, I wonder if that person is going to fucking die now. Because I remember this quote. Because I just read this. I just taken notes on this. And then
It's
I heard
probably
an
between
audiobook.
Sansa and...
I don't think it was Sansa.
what's
I
his
forget
name?
who
The
it was.
Hound.
It might have been like...
You're all over the audiobook, aren't you?
I
Like,
literally just jump. Like, if I'm listening to on my iPad, I'm in Feast and Dance. If I listen on my iPhone, I'm on Storm or Clash. So I'm literally in a random spot every time.
You're a weirdo.
It's because like, there's connections all over. You have to do that.
Sure.
All right, but I don't got anything else. We're not going to drag it out. I'll keep a short edit for
Thanks,
myself.
guys, for listening.
Hopefully, Glow
All right,
has
sounds good,
recording.
boys. Yeah, it's 17 minutes right now, so we're good.
Hey, let's go.
All right.
All right,
cool.
boys. We'll see
All
you
right,
on the
till
next
next time.
episode for Sansa 1. The night is dark and full of terrors.
Bye.
And we know what that means now. Bye.